G'day, family, and welcome to the Captain's Run, episode 31. Dicko up at the Royal Easter Show in Sydney. Perhaps, can you believe he did, firstly, good morning, hello, how are you? But can you believe he did a back-to-back double? I think it was it Tuesday into Wednesday or Wednesday into Thursday, the double up for the Easter Show?
Morning, Paddy. Morning, listeners. They'll probably get it in the evening. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. He's gone the back-to-back. He said the first day was chaos, but he said the second day went better. Better a second up performer, the old Dixon famous. What they have the second day, they went to the monster trucks, it looked like they went to.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They got their hands full on the first day with the show bags by the looks, so probably got no teeth left to ask them the kids. So, but yeah, full credit to him taking 3 kids to the Sydney show. Drove up there. Good on him.
It was great when he sent that photo through a Darcy Len with their show bags on the bed. In my mind, I'm going, who's going to comment first? Paps or Juz? Paps or Juz? Paps or Juz? I reckon I saw the 3 little bubbles on WhatsApp pop up for you and Cross at the same time. I'm like, fucking hell, they're both all over it here. Was the jealousy levels through the roof or what?
Yeah, the show bags. Geez, that's something you miss from the Easter shows for sure. I reckon they got the Zappo ones.
Yeah,
Zappo and the trolley ones, they're the go-to.
100%. But it's a good card at Randwick on Saturday, Paps. All-age stakes day. And I think maybe one that has T. Paplin in the ship might be running around on Saturday.
Yeah, Get A Fix is back. The two group 1s, the Champagne and the all-age stakes, which is good to see. Last group 1s are the Autumn Carnival. Obviously drops away after that. A few benchmark 88s and benchmark 100s and a couple of midways involved in there. But yeah, it's good to see Get A Fix back, and he's well in with a chance for sure.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Well, shall we get straight into it then? We've got obviously all-age stakes day at Randwick. Basically day 3 of the championships, as you and I were talking off air. It's surprised it's not called that of day 3. We've got a rail 5 metres up until the 1,000 metre mark. Then it goes to 6 metres from the 1,000 to the winning post. How do you expect Randwick to play? Punting form's currently got it as a soft 7. Is there much more rain expected, or can we expect to see an upgrade?
Yeah, they got plenty of rain on. When was it? Wednesday night. 15 mil actually at Randwick.
Shit.
I actually haven't checked the ATC weather, the weather tracker, but
Yep.
yeah, I think punting form's usually around the money. So soft 7 for now. It's looking like really sunny for the next couple of days, so you wouldn't think it would get any worse, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking, closer to a soft 5, soft 6 for sure. Randwick's pretty good when there's no rain around, so I reckon the 6 metres out. So I don't want to be too far back, but I think you can come down sort of the middle of the track. It's been pretty good. Pretty good, the Randwick track, although the inside last week was pretty rails in run and things like that. Up the fence was pretty cast, but reasonably fair Randwick this weekend.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. You wanted to start in race 5, which is I'm not going to try and say the company name, a benchmark 88 over 1,200. We've got Salui at the top of the market, 550. Need Some Luck, 550. Oh, Zachy Lloyd engaged for number 15, Get A Fix at $7. Ballroom Bella at $8, and then along with the rest. What do you expect from Get A Fix first up?
Yeah, he's interesting. He's sort of the only horse that's, like, you look at him, he's got still got some upside. He's sort of a horse he's had a few, he's a bit of a wild sort of horse mentally. Been gelded. How many starts has he had? He's only had the 8 starts, so he's got upside with him. I think his last 2 runs are his 2 career best runs. He won on Caulfield Cup Day on a heavy 8, which was a great run. It was just huge that day. Suited by the pattern of the race, but held up. Sickening. Magic Man got him out and ran a really, really good figure and splits, and then had a little fresher and went to Randwick and was luckless. Tommy Berry on, and Tommy Berry's rode him in 2 trials. The first one just over raced really poorly. Won the trial, but was just really strong and really wanted to run. And then the next one just sniffed him and put him behind a few horses, and and then through the line was really, really nice. So he's in for a good prep. He's got some good upside. The map's a bit of a tricky one.
Yep.
Zachy Lloyd's on, which is nice. He's actually met him for the first time. He rode Iniesta. He's been messaging me, so
yeah, that's great.
He's always good to get a few jockey messages here and there when they're riding your horse. So he's pretty keen to get on and hopefully get some luck in running. But yeah, I think he's right into it. I've got him about $6. He's tried pretty well. I think he's
Okay.
around 7 or so.
Yep.
Need Some Luck's the other one that's tried really nicely. So Louis 16's into 5 or something.
Yeah.
Will Freeman's absolutely steamed that horse. And there's the other one is out of that same race is Sharp Shock out of
Yep.
Salou race. They've come out of the same race and sort of finished together. And Sharp Shock actually further back that day, so you could argue that Sharp Shock should be a little bit closer than Salui, but I think Salui sort of raced in some pretty good company last start.
Yeah, from memory, we backed it at the Valley one night, I reckon.
Yeah, it was big odds down in Victoria, so comes here, won very nicely at Muswellbrook, and it's obviously got some upside as well, so they've backed it in. But yeah, I think Get a Fix is a great chance. If it can stay on the sort of softer side of 6, makes him even better chance. So yeah, Get a Fix on top for me, and hopefully get the job done.
Yeah, fair enough. Interesting to see they've sent maybe Dick North after what's happened in Victoria. You can't. Where are they going to get to on that map?
Yeah, it's going to have to go back.
It's going to be the question. Iron Man, Visor's on first time. Do you give it any hope?
Yeah, it was a great last prep. I know Scuzz loves the horse. Its first up is four starts, 1 win, 3 seconds. But the trials have just been no good, which is which is interesting. I don't know if it's a bad trialer, but yeah, I give it a chance. It's definitely like can't win. I think I've got it. What have I got it here? Yeah, it's around the market, but I'm sort of staying out. I don't think it's a bet. Definitely a chance to win. If it did trial a bit better, I could change that, adjust that a bit. But yeah, Get a Fix on top. Needs Some Luck. Very close as well.
Yep, love it.
So Louis around the market as well. I actually, when I was doing the form, had Sir Louis around $8 and it was 13. So it's been backed in probably too short now.
Yeah, 100%. I think they aimed up pretty high with that horse. I'm pretty sure they sent it to a couple of Group 2s last start.
Yeah,
it was
with
Brett Stanley, so it's now with Richard and Will Freeman. So
yeah,
they can obviously improve horses. They're good trainers in their own right. Was an interesting run that last start at Muswellbrook. I know because I backed it because Alicia Collett carried like the grandstand with her. I think she had like 68 kilos or something ridiculous.
Yeah, 63.
Jumped from barrier 16. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to get that horse to improve second up, or if it'll have a little regression and then go back again third up.
Yeah.
But it's a great race and. Mate, we fingers crossed for you with Get a Fix. So just a small bet there, an owner's bet, but one with some conviction on Get a Fix in race 5. Then we head over, mate. Let's go to race 9 next, and then we'll do the 2 Group 1s to finish. We've got the Tab Hallmark Stakes, the Group 3 over 1,200. We've got Marzu at the top of the market, $4. General Salute, $4.60. Dragonstone, there's a bit of money for this, $8 into $5. A Striker, $5.50. Jetterbill, $7. And then longer the rest, mate. How do you see, firstly, the map for the Hallmark Stakes, and how does it play out?
Good little race. Good to see some money for Dragonstone. Give me the beat, boys. We go forward. Marzu will go forward. Royal Merchant first up for the Mar team. Dragonstone should just land midfield. Striker might put some more speed in the race. So Dragonstone might get there's probably 4 or 5 that want to go forward here, and Dragonstone's just going to get that little sweet spot in behind him. Marzu gets Malum, J Malum, and once it's soft, needs it soft to perform at its best.
Yep.
Yeah, Striker was good on speed last start. Gets a 1.5 kilo weight swing on a few here. General Salute was massive, huge last start. And raced against General Salute. General Salute was from the rear and flew late and nabbed it. But Dragonstone was good last start and was rails in run last start. Was really negative on the day. Was held up, hit the line really well. Around $5.50, $5 is a great price.
I think that's the key, isn't it? The fact that it goes barrier 4 to barrier 7, which most of the time you'd be looking at it going, well, barrier 4 is a bit of a better barrier, but on a horse that does like to settle midfield or worse than midfield, if it's able to actually get some clear air this time, you might see the best of that horse, because what's it run? The second fastest last 1,000, 800, 600, 400. Yeah, I love the bet. What price did you take?
Yeah, I took about $6.
What price would you be saying to the punters to get involved in?
I've got, what have I got it here? I've got it around $350. So,
okay.
I'm pretty keen.
Yep.
I just think it maps beautifully.
Yep.
Josh Parr outside.
All right, beautiful, Perhaps. So in the Hallmark Stakes, the 1200 metre Group 3, you are with pretty keen, by the sounds of it, on Dragon Stone. Let's go and have a look at the two Group 1s now, mate. Let's start with the Champagne Stakes, mate, which is race 7 on the program. The 2-year-old Group 1 race over 1600 metres. This is a cracking contest. I'm usually not one to get too excited about the 2-year-olds, but this looks a fantastic race. You've got Nepotism at the top of the market, but it's drawn barrier 11. So where are they going? At 420. You've got Within the Law, does it want 1600? But it's at $5 and it's Air Bjorn. So you can't knock it because he's absolutely flying.
One of the most rare preps that's had.
100%. Then you've got State Visit with J-Mac on. It does draw barrier 12 at $6.50. Buffalo, $7.50. Bellazane, $8.50. Next Gen, $11. And then horses that are unbeaten. Spicy Lou at $12. Like, what, mate? So, firstly, before we go through each runner, perhaps, what's going on with the map here?
Spicy Lou's going to go forward. Bellazane will go forward. Spicy Lou got the absolute Christmas last start with Rachel King doing her best work. She's running really well at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably riding better than Jamie. I haven't checked the stats on that. But Is It Spectacular will go forward for Sarah Ryan. Lady Pankhurst will go forward. Gano said yesterday that State Visits, and he does a bit of work for Coolmore, I think, and they think, he was saying J-Mac's not going to go back on State Visit. He's going to push forward. But I doubt Gano's telling what J-Mac to do. So, but J-Mac's in a J-Mac's in a Group 1 on a colt.
Yep.
And needs a Group 1. It's come second in the remind me, what was that, 14 over 1400
in the
meters.
size. Yep.
The come second in the size, the bin rock. But just geez, if J-Mac can go forward and land in a good position, it's going to have to be a 3 wide line, I think, if he's going to get cover and win. Nepotism will go back. They're pretty usually a negative from the wide gates, as Wayno says. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I couldn't have, like, I think the two best horses in the race are Nepotism and State Visit. Nepotism probably has the bit more turn of foot.
Yeah.
And can sit back. But anyway, we'll go through them. State Visit goes Colette to J-Mac, sticky draw, back to last, 1600 metre suits, 4th up. Look, I've got it just around $8. I think it's just the map. I just think it's too short at $6.50. Definitely winning chance for sure. If J-Mac lands outside leader,
could be all
I
over.
think it's a huge chance.
Horse number 2, mate, Nepotism, the Hawks with Schiller on board, but has drawn barrier 11.
Yeah, so definitely goes back. Interesting thing is heavy last start. Comes to a good here, 1600 metres. You don't actually, you are sort of half guessing with these 2-year-olds. Do they actually get the 1600 metres? The Hawks team seem to think that 1600 metres will suit, same as State Visit. It's going to have work to do, does have the X factor, and was very, very impressive last start off heels, and has been set for this. So Nepotism, I've got it, what's that, $5, so pretty close, but like it's just the map again. Yeah. And then go to number 3, Buffalo. This is an interesting horse. This is a horse that I think actually wants the 1600 metres the most. If you look at its runs from Newcastle all the way through this prep, really wound up late. Last start against them all. It gets pert to Colette. Said it was worse than midfield in all its runs. This is probably going to be a faster run race, but if Colette is not the most aggressive rider out of the barriers, but if you can just 1400 metres is obviously not as 1600 metres is a little bit slower out of the gates than 1400 metres. The Colette can be a little bit aggressive, can be landing its best spot in run so far, and I've got that pretty close to market, and the way it hit the line against the others last start was a really, really good run. And that's one that you could probably have a little spec up. I've got it $7. What's the market? Probably about $7.
Yeah, $7.50 currently.
Yep.
Yep, love it. And then we go to number 4 for Sarah Ryan. King Kong on top. Is It Spectacular? Barrier 2.
Yeah, look, bit of a step up. I think it's coming from a Warwick Farm maiden. Obviously got a bit of upside there. Second up, Mark Zara. will be forward, but yeah, I think the others they can jump out of the ground, but yeah, I've got the others on top. It's around the $60 mark. Now this one's really interesting. The next horse,
Yeah.
Michelangelo,
7 day backup, Blinkers first time, Zed Lloyd on top.
and we were on this last week
Yeah.
and
Could they have gone any slower?
couldn't go any slower. What are they going? 19 lengths to the 600 slower for the class, which is extraordinary. And like if you watch that ride, T Berry's had a little bit of a mare, and we all make mistakes. He's actually given up the rail, and then he's gone outside. Then he's actually gone back to the rail, and it didn't sprint as well as I like, but did come on late. You just have to completely forget that run. If you go back to the nepotism run, and this is why I'm on it. Was on
Ooh.
it. No, I'm not on it. Well, this is why I was on it last start
Yeah.
because of the last run. You completely forgive that run. It's $3.20 v Spicy Lou, Chupacabra, Lady Pankhurst. So you can tie that in. The ones in the market sort of because of that race, it's just gone so slow. These ones that are out of that race on the 7 day backup are sort of $20.
Yeah.
And we get Zach Lloyd on, we get the Blinkers first time, and that's going to, I think, help him out of the barriers, you'd think, just to get him a bit more intent, and I think he can land a bit more handy because he just didn't want, like I thought Berry could have pushed him if he wanted to, but he just didn't want to do it, and they've got Zach Lloyd on now, so I think Michelangelo, just at huge odds, can definitely run a race here for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. And then we go to number 6 for the Hawks team as well, which has got Nash on top, again drawn barrier 9, that is Federalist.
Yeah, and this is another one that sort of you can sort of forget last run with Green and it's Nash is going to be interesting here. Does he push forward or does he go back again? Nash will do Nash. You'd think probably you'd leave it up to Nash. He really didn't want to go forward. The horse didn't really want to go last start, so it was good late. Wants the 1600 metres, definitely this horse, I reckon. It was $26 v Vinrock last start. Look, it has X Factor. Wouldn't surprise, but not sort of one I'm looking to back.
Yep.
Although it was, if you look at its last splits last start, second fastest of the race, last 4-2, and the fastest last 100. So it was very good late. So it's got the X Factor. Wouldn't surprise, but I'd prefer to sort of have Michelangelo over that horse.
Fair enough. And then we've got Within the Law, number 7 for Bjorn Baker and Karen McAvoy. 12 up to 1600s. Interesting.
Yeah, look, weird this prep, but you can't question Bourne. Going to Millennium, Sweet Embrace, Slipper, which went through the barriers. Went through the rail. Tick over in between. Was really good against Tempted last start. Now comes from 1200 to 1600, 7 day backup, Kieran McAvoy. I spoke to Kieran.
Probably should leave that out,
Yeah. I just think this horse is going to, if you look at its runs in the Millennium, the Sweet Embrace, back and wide, I reckon this horse is better on the outside barriers where it wants to wind up, a bit more room and get to the outside. So barrier 3 might be interesting for it, 12 to 600 metres. You don't question Bourne. I should have, buddy. I questioned him last start with the Rapaho, and it's come out, won the Sydney Cup, and geez, he's too good. So Within the Law is definitely a chance, but it's a weird sort of profile, so I'm not going to be on it that price.
Yeah, if you are thinking about wagering, I mean, the 7 day backup, which I think is a positive, and it's run the fastest last 200 and 100 of the race as well. So if you do like it, there is a push for you saying that it might be suited, but at 400 metres is a big jump. But yeah, Bjorn is absolutely airborne. The man cannot be stopped. And then we go to number 8, mate, for Waterhouse and Bott with Tim Clark aboard Bellazine, barrier 6.
Yeah, Bellazine was in that rate. He was in the size, $11 v Vinrock. Went forward, was going to go forward again. Will be a fast tempo. We'll put speed in the race this time. This horse, just put speed in the race, so it's going to be fastly run. Yeah, I didn't really, probably one that was, what have I got it? Yeah. Sort of, could be, like, I had, about $9. It's going to be forward. Obviously, was good on speed last start, but, not for me.
Fair enough. Then we go to horse 9, Unbeaten for N. Olive. Trainer at a Queanbeyan with Rachel King, which is Spicy Lou, number 9.
Yeah, look, Spicy Lou's definitely not going to get the the Christmas like it did last start, and that's why I'm happy to be against it. The
Yeah.
$18. There's horses that are in this race that were in it last start, and I think got to map that a little bit off the speed in the race. I think it's going to find it different. This horse Spicy Lou, so happy to be against. Yes, it's big odds. Rachel King on 7-day backup.
Yep.
But yeah, there's going to be some pressure here, and it's going to find it very different to last start. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you are thinking about wagering, it does drop a kilo, which always does help, but it does get a bit of a negative weight swing against a couple in the market. But number 10, which is Tapakura for the Neesham and Archibald camp with Berry on top, barrier 1.
Yeah, this is the other sort of one that interests me with the SPs and the run last start out of a very slowly run race, hit the line really nicely. Sort of, you look at the race, it was the same out of the same race as Spicy Lou. Sort of just went so slow and was just off the leader. Probably you would have liked to see it hit, probably get there if there's going to be a chance on Saturday. But some horses are just better when they're a bit more faster tempo, show a bit more turn of foot. And I reckon this horse might suit that. So just get Colette to Berry. Berry want to be show a bit more intent, and this horse probably does show a bit more intent than the actual horse, the Michelangelo. So I think Berry can land in behind the leader, or just 3 back the fence because there's going to be some speed, and this could get the run of the race. $3.90 last start, was backed in from $5.50, was huge against nepotism, 2 back, and was $5.50 there. Yes, they're 2-year-olds, and sometimes the SPs are a little bit funny and stuff like that because you haven't seen much of them. But look, at $20-something, this is a horse that does interest me for sure.
You wish it was $20. It's been backed into $12.
Kidding. Oh, anyway, that makes me a little bit sick. But yeah, I think that's probably the reasons are because of what I just said. Really, the SP, the barrier, the run against nepotism 2 back. Just because of the market was a little bit out, I think, because of the 2 best horses, and the horses that are in the market are wider, and the punters are looking to sort of go away from that. So I'm not surprised it's been backed in for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. And I mean, if you, as I just said about Spicy Lou, if you're going to back Spicy Lou, you have to back Tapakura with a 3.5 kilo weight, a 2.5 kilo weight swing on that horse, and a significant SP advantage over at last start. Number 11, which is Lady Pankhurst with Willow aboard, barrier 10.
Yeah, look, was with Spicy Lou, had every possible chance.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, okay. And then we move on to number 12, which is Next Gen for Neesham and Archibald as well, rounding out the field with Chad Schofield on barrier 7.
Yeah, this is a horse that wouldn't surprise.
Yep.
Neesham's pretty keen on it. $4.20 v nepotism when he won. Maps midfield-ish, Schofield on. Look, this horse is third up, has X Factor. What price are we getting there?
It's currently $11.
Ran about the right price. Was good luck. This race is just so open.
Yeah.
Sort of can all tie him in. Third up. So out of the same race as Nepotism, was closing on Nepotism. Nepotism was just a little bit closer that day. It was so far back on that heavy track that day where they cancelled the races, so it was not suited in a slowly run race there. So Next Gen, definite chance for sure. Sitting on the fence here a bit, but it's just such an open race.
If you're sitting with your mates at the pub and you've got $50 and you want to have a bet in the Group 1, how would you spend it?
Yeah, if I had $50 now, Tapakura, I like the punters are sort of with me there, so I'll have 25 on that.
Yep.
And I have 25 on Michelangelo.
Yep. Love it, mate. I think you got to follow your money last start. If you've backed Michelangelo like we all have, and you've got Waller deciding the 7-day backups to go with blinkers on, you just have to have a bet, I think. No bet for perhaps probably an eyes on ponies, but if you had $50 at the pub, it'd be 25 on number 10 Tapakura and 25 on Michelangelo, both at double figures.
Good race, a really good race.
It is a ripping race. I'm glad we went through every run of that. It sets up to be a great contest tomorrow afternoon. But then the main one of the day, mate, really, the all-age stakes. We've got the Group 1 over 1,400. Top of the market, we've got Briasa, barrier 4, $3.60. Jimmy Star, $6. Jolie Star, $6.50. Broadsiding, $6.50. Magic Time, $12 and longer the rest. How do you see the map, firstly, and then what are you doing in the all-age stakes?
Yep. Another good race. To finish off the carnival. Group 1 all-age stakes. It's, advantage Barassa straight away with that map. Belclair goes forward for Bourne. Who knows what that horse will come out and do. Magic Time will push forward. Komochi was really good last start. I think Nash will be positive on. And look, Jimmy Star will be back to the 1400. How's he going to go back to the 1400? Everyone, is he a 1200 metre fresh horse or 1400 metre with a couple of runs in? Interesting. Broadsiding back and buried with Antino. Although it's J-Mac, so J-Mac might be getting 3 back the fence. Good race. Look, if you can, I landed on Briasa just because gets the absolute Christmas again. But the thing is with Jolly Star was back to the inside last start. You can sort of forgive that. It was the same day that Dragonstone ran.
Yeah.
And that's sort of that rails in run negative sort of race day, but Jolly Star was still fighting the fence in the straight where Dragonstone got off the fence. Jolly Star was fighting the fence. Gets lane to Lloyd. Just probably, I don't know, not much of a change at all, really, I think. Yeah, I landed on Briasa just because just Christmas run again. Got the Christmas run in the, what's it running last start?
The TJ
Smith.
Yeah.
And just maps beautifully again. The question you get with Briasa, 1400, is the question, but the 1300 metres ran Newcastle that day wide and was luckless. Like you could say, it got wide and huge runs. So you should suggest that gets the 1400 metres. Now the Jolly Star, you tie the $3.30 SP in with Briasa for sure. Lane to Lloyd, last start negative. Rails in run, inferior lanes up the straight, but the map here is just a little bit tricky. I don't know where Zachy Lloyd's going to get to. I just think Briasa is going to be maybe even 3 lengths ahead and Jolly Star's going to have a bit of work to do. That's why I've sort of leaned with Briasa. Like Jolly Star's definite chance for sure. Magic Time was really good. Rails in run last start as well. And the TJ came out of the TJ as well. But it just did fade off a lot more than Jolly Star. Jimmy Star, really not suited. Big run last start. He's going to be worse than midfield, give him a start. So, yeah, it's a good race. Now, look, if James Cumming can get broadsiding to win, it would be a huge training performance. 28 days since its last run, 2,000 metres, 1,400 metres, J-Mac, 3 back to fence. The horse just, it doesn't, blow the figures off the page, but just seems to just get it done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the profile doesn't really look great. But if James Cummins can pull that off, full credit to him, full credit to the horse. I wonder if he does win, does he finish up with 5 Group 1s, I think it is? And apparently, I seen on one of the reels the other day, Emma Friedman. Apparently, the plan was this all along after the last run.
Wow.
So it's an interesting thing to note there. But yeah, Briasa on top, Jolly Star second pick. Very if Jolly Star got out to what price can you get Jolly Star?
I think currently it is at $6.50 current.
Yeah. The thing with the TJ, Briasa drifted so much.
Yeah.
And you could have definitely had a bet on Briasa late on Betfair. I think it drifted out to $8.50. If Jolly Stars, look, they might come for Jolly Star because the market come for him for a last start.
Yeah.
Briasa might drift because the market didn't come for him last start. So just keep an eye on the market. Look, if Jolly Star gets to $8, I'll be having a bet for sure. Jimmy Star, depending on how the track's playing, if they're coming back and wide, if that gets out to sort of $10, you could back him as well. So they're the 3 that I'm sort of looking at. But Briasa on top for me. I took the $3.70 just because I thought the map, everything ticks boxes and can always bet late on Betfair for Jolly Star.
Yeah, fair enough. I really want to put my Dicko hat on and go, but what about this? But what about this? It's one of those races where how can you question some of the things that are going on? Antino lobs here after running in Hong Kong You think about those races that are run in the spring where it was settled at the back, and I think it was that day at Caulfield where it took off really early and kicked them in by 6 lengths. But that was a 1,600 metre run. You know what I mean? Like you can't count that horse out though with King Kong on top, and you've drawn barrier 1. Like
four wins first up from 5 starts.
That's exactly right. You've got Desert Lightning. I'm not too sure has got too much of a chance, but you can't knock them for having a crack. As you just said about Jimmy Starr, if Jimmy Starr decides to get some kind of an inside run last start, with your note saying that it was forward suited, like there's a chance that that's a TJ Smith winner. You've then got My Oberon, not too sure, Osipenko, not too sure, but how can you knock Chris Waller finding Tim Clark in a Group 1? You've got Sunshine in Paris, who's probably a little bit hasn't performed as well as you would think, but Bunch finished in the TJ Smith. There's a chance that, again, with a better run, that potentially comes out and goes a little bit better. It potentially goes even closer to winning a TJ Smith, but it's drawn barrier 13. You're 100% right about Belclair. Like, does it know if it's coming or going? Does it know who its mum and dad is? Like, it's gone from Bjorn back to New Zealand, back here. Like, you would not put it past Rachel King to go absolutely handlebars down and just try and obliterate this field. Magic Time probably needs it wet, but then you've got Jolly Star, who was crunched in the TJ Smith. Watch his run in the TJ. That was enormous as well, wasn't it, from memory?
Yep.
That's got Nash on.
Yeah, 3 wide, no cover, and hung on. And arguably, might be better at the 1,400 metres.
Yeah, 100%. You've then also got, look, it's coming from the Moonee Valley run in the William Reid, but they're having a crack here with Benedetto. You just don't know. They've taken the blinkers off. Jamie's not going as well, and I had a look between Jamie and Rach from your comment before. Rach for our last 50 is currently striking at 10%, and Jamie's striking at 12%.
Yeah, right.
So not too dissimilar, but you've got a horse that's run that in the Newmarket was back, hold up key stages. That goes close to running into Jolie Star. That was $14 there. And what price are you getting on Saturday for Benedetto? You're getting $21. So if you wanted to have a little flutter there, you couldn't knock that either. And then you've got a couple down the market. Like, this is a proper race. And sorry, that's without mentioning broadsiding. Like, if you're telling me that he's decided that this was the race all along after going up to 2,000 metres and they come out and win, like, all those comments about James Cummings and about how he's not going that well, yada, 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 like, this is one of the greatest training performances of all time. If this comes out and even goes close, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be. It's just...
Mate, this race is amazing. Like, race 7 and race 8 at Randwick on Saturday are 2 races where, like, even if you're not having a wager, there's just so many angles. And these are 2 elite races of the carnival. Yes, we had Via win last week. Yes, we had Treasure of the Moment win off a walk last week. And obviously, J-Max right on Fangirl, they were all praising it. But if it gets beat, you just don't know. But as he said, he just rode it like a $10 shot and waited till the last second. But race 7 and race 8 at Randwick on Saturday are fucking elite. Like, I cannot wait to watch these races.
I think that's compared to last week, you're thinking like your tail's between your legs because you're like, oh, do I want to back against this fave or am I backing this fave?
100%.
On track, I had a good go at Via because it was out for $2 or something. I was like, oh, stuff it. But like, your still tails are between your legs. But here, you don't have to have much on to have a good interest in the race. So you don't even have anything on. But it's a great race. Angles everywhere and look forward to it.
100%. And if you're a exotics punter, this is Christmas, these 2 races.
Yeah.
Because you could make cases for like 10 or 9 of the runners in the Champagne Stakes, and then out of the 14 that are currently in the All Age, there's got to be a case for 10, maybe 12 of them. There's only a couple that I don't think potentially can win. You know what I mean?
They've all got them.
It's just, fascinating racing. Randwick sets up to be a ripping day. Perhaps just to recap your plays, yes, it's a owner's bet, but you are keen on having a bet on your horse, Get a Fix, race 5, number 15. Yep. Then you're also keen in race 9, mate, as punting form loads, which is the Hallmark Stakes. You're keen to have a bet on Dragonstone, which is number 12. And then you've obviously already taken Briasa in the All-Age Stakes and are keen to bet there. And then race 7, as we said, if you were having $50 down at the pub with your mates, you'd have 25 on Michelangelo at about 26s and 25 on Tapakura, which is number 10 as well.
Yep, perfect, mate.
All right, perhaps before we get to the Betfair Value Vault, Dicko is keen a one in race 10 that he wanted me to mention. Now, Mornington, we've got the rail and the true on Saturday. Look, there's no need for me to ever do the form in Victoria because obviously I'm following the best, but you would assume Mornington, it's just sometimes can be a monorail, so you would assume up and leading would be the key.
Well, I'm hearing, speaking to Dicko and the likes, that have the data, that it's going to play fair. The history suggests fair and off fence, Paddy. So,
Ooh. So maybe it's Mornington with rail out, you get that up
yeah,
and on speed. So back in the true.
it's got that big sort of turn. So you want to be sort of, they might like to get up and winding
Yep.
up. So
Yep.
fair and off fence. So,
Okay.
interesting to see where Prancing Spirit looks like it's going to land pretty nice, in the 1-1. So.
Yeah, that's the bet that Dicko did want us to mention, which was Prancing Spirit. Last start was an absolute car crash into the wind. It was what, 3 wide, no cover. It was snicked back from the it pinged the lids and then it was snicked back from the gate. 3 wide, no cover. It was very, very good late, and Dicko said you can completely forgive that run at Caulfield. It's run second to Heart of Glass, and then the results from the weekend is at Rocket Tiger from that race, which has actually ran 1.9 lengths within Heart of Glass. He come out and won as well, so the form has already been franked. As you just mentioned, Paps, now it makes so much sense to me why he's betting this horse. You've got Lulu Darling and Flying Mickey going forward with Walenda, and maybe they light up Extremely Rowdy from the outside and send it forward. Prancing Spirit should just land in that off fence 1-1, maybe 2-1, and be blending around that turn and finishing over the top of them late. It goes from, being 3 wide, no cover, and being lit up to potentially, just getting that sweet spot and can start making its runs from the 600. Mornington's a lot like Moonee Valley in a way. It does have a short straight, and you do need to get going a little bit early if you are making those runs. So, that's the one that Dicko's keen on, mate. But perhaps for the Betfair Value Vault, we've found one in race 3.
Oh, here we go.
Top of the weights, Logan Bates does claim 3 kilos. First time, Gav Bedggood.
Hello.
So this is for the Betfair Value Vault in the Mornington Race 3, which is 1600 metre benchmark 84. We are throwing in the number 1 for Gav Bedggood. We've got first up Gav. From the trials, it looks like he's potentially found the key to this horse. Sometimes horses, when they're with different trainers, it just gets a different environment and a different way of training, and they can just improve. So these are, from the trials, it looks like Carini might be back. You've got pretty strong SPs in some pretty big races, like the Werribee Cup, the Seymour Cup. It's been aimed up. This is back to a benchmark 84. If you can remember, perhaps, I think it was its first prep out here. It was a highly spruiked horse. We're talking like $5.50, $2.60 and a $2.40 SP. That's in the Herbert Power Stakes. So a lot stronger races than this. Carini looks to, again, land just in the Christmas. It looks to be roughly about midfield, one off the rail. You've got horses like Reset the Jazz, Verdad, and Fiasco Test going forward, and it just looks to land behind them with number 3's Wig potentially kicking up on the fence. So we're talking one off the fence, midfield. It's the map horse. It's first time Gav at $10 plus, and betting with Betfair late. Hopefully get a little bit more, mate, with Betfair starting price. If you are an each way punter, small field, this looks hopefully to be Christmas. We thought that Climbing Star last week, mate, was going to get a little drift and then and be able to be backed each way. That was absolutely steamed. I think it was about $8.50 when we spoke about it. I think it jumped around $6.50 on Betfair. But if you're looking for one at double figure values on Saturday, race 3, number 1, Carini, first time Gav. Let's fucking go.
I don't mind it, mate. If you're forgiving last prep, the prep before that, you're definitely right. The $4.80 against a tissue.
Yep.
In a Group 2, over 1,600 metres down at Flemington.
But more importantly, I think it was like $9 into $4.80 that day as well. So not only was it a very strong SP versus a tissue, where it was it sat outside lead and it was probably suited that day over 1,600, but That's in the Blamey Stakes. We're talking about a benchmark 84 at Mornington. That's not the strongest field. I mean, there's one horse that would just genuinely make you sick if it comes out and wins again, which is Verdad. Yeah, we don't even need to talk about it. But that horse does have some ability. But yeah, I think this is just a simple each way bet. If you love betting each way, download the Betfair app, follow us along. Back at late, back at each way, race 3, number 1, Carini. But that just about does us for episode 31 of the Captain's Run, I reckon, Pat.
Nice, Brady. Good work, mate. As
Love it,
always.
Go the Swannies.
Eyes on ponies will be out. I might have maybe a Tommy 2 play in the last. We'll see how we go. But yeah, should be cracking couple of races at Randwick, and look forward to getting out there and watching Getafix get the job done.
Love it, mate. Love it.
What have you
what have we got? We've got Easter, mate. So happy Easter to the family. First one with the little one, so no doubt he'll get a lot of chocolate, and I might put on a few kilos for eating it all because he can't eat it yet. So that's my plan for the weekend, mate. But plan on Pie's good win last night, which was great.
Geez, they're looking good. You'll be up and about.
Yeah, 100%. We just got to hope that that the physios and the doctors can keep us together. Darcy, did you watch the game last night? Just a little bit off track, but Darcy Moore, when there was a cut on the inside of his ear, I was thinking the worst. I was thinking, is this bloke bleeding from the brain? Like, he split the cartilage on the inside of his ear.
Yeah, I thought he was KO'd for, I don't even know. But he cleared it, so...
I mean, he did stand straight up and took himself straight from the ground, but geez, it didn't look good in the moment, did it?
It goes to show, though, like, if that was, unfortunately, someone that had some...
100%.
They would be just...
If it was Nathan Murphy, if it was Paddy, if it was anyone, that could have been catastrophic, absolutely. But yeah, no, good win for the Pies last night. I'm looking forward to watching the Swannies. That's Sunday, isn't it?
Dacos was unbelievable.
Last night.
I think you've just got to... I don't know. I think you've got to tag him, but then, like... Because you've got to tag him, but then that just still reduces his actual impact. Because when you don't tag him, he has 40.
Yeah, I mean, what do? They put Berry to him in the third quarter. Yeah, I know. They put Berry to him in the third quarter, and he just ran straight off the halfback flank and just ran straight into the stoppage. I think I've spoken about this with Dicko before. We've traded like we are going to win this year. Like, we have to be in contention. And if we're not, like, in my eyes as a fan, like, you don't bring all these blokes in and not want to be competing at the end of the year, which is always a funny spot to be in, because I thought we were in the kind of same position when the side was so young when we got dusted by West Coast and the granny. So I'm getting those vibes. AFL's heating up, NRL's heating up. Yeah, it'll be a big sport weekend for me, mate. And we should probably recap it all next week on a normal show of the Early Crow. But I'll leave you to it, mate. Now you got to get to the club. Have a great Easter, family. Have a great Easter. That's episode 31 of the Captain's Run.
Happy Easter.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.